going to come down.
Faber making a third as he looks up. Faker finds the draw three. Stunning here from
Welcome back to the second day of the first qualifier for SCS Season 6 Stage 2. I am Lynx, joined by Benny. And well, Benny, I would say, you were here. Would you categorize yesterday as eventful? What's your opinion on it?
I was only here for one game, but I would say it was eventful.
Bit.
It was. I guess the big thing is just seeing these pug stacks, a lot of the pug stacks, a lot of the different teams playing out, and seeing them playing against maybe some of the more recognized teams, like here against Bow Blowers, against Nocturnes. Pretty close game actually. Seeing Bow Blowers, some old names you may have heard before in older times that still can shoot, still can kind of run with the best of them, but in the end, Nocturne's just that much of more of a composed team in the end. I saw some other games too. Some of the games are also kind of crazy.
Well, I was going to say Nocturnes hasn't exactly been having the best results in recent history. I do know they lost a game later on. I believe it was 8-6. And overall, I mean, obviously, losing a game, but they haven't losing to some teams that you'd think for a Challenger League team, they'd be able to take a little bit better, but could be some downfalls within the teams. Could be just best of ones being, well, best of ones. Who really knows? Another game, as you can see, West Garfield Park taking a comfortable 7-3 victory over In Control, another org that I actually have not seen in Rainbow Six for a little bit. Used to be a mainstay in the amateur scene. Now they are back and moving forward. This is probably one of the more exciting games from yesterday. At least these two teams, Eclectic, who seem to be very promising, against Noob Slayers, who has a very familiar name on it, as I'm sure you can tell.
Yeah, that was...
Of course, I'm talking about Trist from 1HP.
Yeah, no. You were talking about Tristan, obviously Recruit Tits. That's obviously who you're talking about, But then obviously the last game of the day, Shiesty versus Whittle Kitties, which I heard had some exciting, in a good and bad way, moments.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm sure our replay operator, yep, there you can go. I'm sure he's brought forth and collected some of the, I believe, whiffs from yesterday, but also for every whiff there is a very nice clutch or very great moments that happens. You have that disappointing shot by Razor right there, followed up by a nice one from Jake, but of course, as I'm sure we'll see later, a very nice 1v3 from Jay Slime. But could you have such a beautiful 1v3 without all of those whiffs, Benny? I mean, the universe needs balance.
Yeah, I guess that's how you balance out some of the crazy plays with the not so crazy play.
Yeah, it's just how it goes sometimes.
Dude, yeah, I guess it makes the crazy plays even crazier because you see crazy with the plays. We're like, what happened there?
Exactly. It's like yin and yang. You can't have light without dark, hot without cold. You can't have an amazing clutch without remembering that sometimes we don't always hit our shots when we need to. And of course, if we want to take a look, what has been hitting, I'd say very well so far, has been the qualifier structure. We're halfway through it right now, or at least halfway through the Swiss stage of the qualifier. If you recall, basically, we have 4 groups in SCS in the group stage. 4 groups, each with 4 teams in it. 2 in each group have been invited. 2 will come in through that qualifier. And as you can watch the format for the stage as a whole come through, week 1, we'll have 8 opening matches in which, well, all teams will play. Just get a win or a loss on the board. Then all you need to do to enter playoffs is either win a second BO3, or win a second BO3, actually. So if teams go up 2-0, they're in the playoffs. If they go down and move 1-1, they have to win their decider match, and that is what stands between them and elimination or playoffs.
Yep, you see it there. It's difficult. It's gonna be cutthroat, those best of 3s, but that's how you show what you can do. And those 3 matches will be good either way. Even if you don't win, you don't make the playoffs, it's still great experience to be done here in stage 2. So we'll see what teams make it through. But here again with the qualified teams have been re-invited from last stage. We have, of course, Wichita Wolves Academy, which was that Surf roster, IF, One Shot, Wichita Wolves themselves, Gassers Goons, Mystic actually was 2-phase previously, Aero Academy, and Carnico.
Yes, and of course, some of these teams still undergoing changes. I did see last night Investigation File going through some of their own roster changes as well. So these teams will not exactly be the same ones that we saw in Stage 1 for some of those re-invited teams. And of course, seeing some new faces come through, like, well, I guess new faces or old faces rebranded, like Wichita Wolves Academy, will be a sight for sore eyes moving into Stage 2. And of course, you can see in each of those groups, 2 of those squares unfilled. Those will be filled by some of the qualifier teams, some of which could very well find their spot in SCS Season 6 today.
Yeah, we got a few more best of ones to go before we get to the best of 3s tomorrow. So these teams are looking to, we're going to watch some of these more of decider games that, people who are in that edge, that top 16 edge, on the the cusp of making that top 16. But so far, we already had our power rankings yesterday. We talked about teams we expect to make it, and well, here we go, our top 16 per ranking so far. We got Chess Club, West Garfield, Aero, Rise, and Achieve, which isn't too crazy actually.
Yeah, definitely Chess Club and West Garfield being up there, and well, of course, Aerial Rise Academy not far behind, but specifically Chess Club and West Garfield Park in that number 1 and 2 slot. I don't think it's much of a surprise to many people, especially West Garfield Park, just coming off of their show-stopping performance, it seemed like, in the standalone tournament, doing very well for themselves. Now, seeing them in the 4-0 spot, not at all surprising. Achieve, I will say, coming through 3-1, they had a good performance in stage 1. 3-1 here, though, that's a little bit better than I thought. Best of ones can sometimes be unforgiving to these kinds of teams. But overall, Aerial Academy, Chess Club, West Garfield rounding out our top 3. I don't think many people are shocked by that. Moving down to places 5 through 8, do we start to see some more surprises emerge? Some teams that we thought might be a little bit better? I don't know. I know for me, it's actually a bit overperforming. I didn't expect to see Lycus Empire that high, especially for how they were placed yesterday.
Yeah, Lycus Empire we placed towards the bottom actually, and they've done very well for themselves. Same with Shadowrun, because Shadowrun we saw from that first qualifier, they were decent, but they didn't have anything crazy to them, so we didn't expect them to be that crazy this time around. Eclectic though, still sticking what we pretty much had. We had them in 4th, so they're still within that same place we thought they would be. Didn't ask as well. That's that pug stack, that Swift Sauna, Delta Force pug stack we've seen time and time again that we want to do well, but well, they are doing well this time actually around.
Yeah, they are in that top 8 spot, so making it into the regular season is still very much a dream that could happen. Moving down to the 9 through 12 position, we see Asylum Patience moving a lot lower. Of course, they are still that 3-1 record. That's always the issue with Swiss, is that, oh, this team is 5th, this team is 11th, but they do have that same record. But Asylum Patience, they are up 3-1. They made it very far in the previous qualifier as well, so that's one team I expect to rise and get a couple more wins on today, depending on what happens. Might not make the regular season, of course, they didn't last time, but I imagine before the end of the day, they'll add maybe a couple more wins to that tally. And of course, for the final, rounding out the quote-unquote bottom 4, if you want to call them, still plenty of other teams they are above. Wichita Wolves Academy, actually, 2-2 right now. I think that might be the biggest surprise on the list, Benny.
100%. We all thought they would be 4-0, kicking butt, just showing us like, oh god, that's why are they even here? They're just crazy. They should just be in the league at that point already, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and of course, that is the only 2-2 name on a list. Team Goosick as well, 3-1. They definitely made it interesting in the first qualifier, all the way back before stage 1. They were a team that many people kept their eye on. That's the team with EJ and Baxel. I'm sure many of you recall the Reign of Terror and the carnage they carved through that qualifier. They're back here, and again, that's another team that I keep your eye out on, that I would expect a couple more wins will go into their column, even if they don't end up making the regular season, just like they did last time. But these are your top 16. Will it remain the same throughout the day? Given how the qualifiers tend to go, I highly doubt it. We'll likely see some upsets in all sorts of areas.
Upsets are fun to see. I want to see these teams show us something but hey, if you didn't do well this qualifier, still one more to go. There's still one more chance for you to get into stage 2. You can go January 14th, 16th. Xbox play in the chat. Check out those links, and if not $50, it's only $10 per person, nothing crazy. Or if you already spent that $80 on both qualifiers, don't forget to sign up for the second one.
And of course, keep in mind that everything we do here, the qualifiers, the standalone tournament, the regular season, is only made possible by some of our great sponsors. And of course, Mike and Ike's is definitely one of the big ones that we can just shout out real quick. This entire pre-show segment is sponsored by Mike and Ike's, the fruity chewy candy that always powers up not only the players, but SCS as well. So thank you, Mike and Ike's, as always, for your loyal support to SCS, NerdStreet, and the Rainbow Six community as a whole. But yep, Benny, I have to say, I am very excited to cover that the qualifier part 2, and you and I will actually be doing the majority of that based on how schedule's lined up. So
yeah,
we'll get a close look at what's going to happen.
Both of those first 2 days of best of ones we'll be doing. But hey, we'll be back in a little bit with our next match. We're gonna wait for these players to get ready because we got NCSU versus OUTLAST coming right up.
B3, make that a 1v2.
2 seconds left. It's gonna come down.
We're making a third as he puts up. Make it up. He finds the draw 3. Stunning here from
2 seconds left. It's going to come down.
Favor making a third as he puts up. Faker, he finds the drop three. Stunning here from.
Welcome back, everybody, to day number 2 of the SCS Season 6 Open Qualifier. Number 2, I'm Lynx, joined by Benny, and as Benny alluded to, or, well, outright stated, before we cut to a break, our first matchup will be Outlast the Opposition versus NCSU. Thankfully, we don't have Connor casting right now because, well, Connor goes to NCSU. That's a conflict of interest we would not stomach here at SCS. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we actually have the team I have heard so much about because I'm friends with Connor. I get to cast them finally.
Yeah, hey, Outlast too. Outlast has had some changes. They know a couple players, dipped off. We lost Panic. We saw some other player. Also, forget the other person who dropped off Outlast. But we got Twist and Woos in their places to try and bring Steel Outlast how they do at this new format. And of course, NCSU, Anarchy Taco, NC Jack Predator, and Ride. Though I think, is it NC Jack whose name is crazy in game?
I don't know if it's NC Jack whose name is crazy. I do believe that NC Jack is not playing today. I'm not entirely sure though. As you will see, there are some players in the lobby whose names I can't possibly decipher both in their construction and who they are meant to be. That is just a fun little reality we'll have to deal with. And also for Outlast, I believe it was Panic and Genesis were no longer on the roster and replaced by Twist and Woos. Twist, who I would say made a name for himself previously, but also on that FPL Queens roster that stormed through invite quals. And Roos, well, he's been a demon that I think made a name for himself too in that T3TM standalone tournament. So that's where he comes from. And where we'll be going? Well, we'll be Oregon today, Benny. No break. You'll be starting out with Oregon, the map we just can't seem to get enough of.
I had it yesterday for one game, the only game I cast yesterday, and have it again today. Come on, guys. Just don't play Oregon.
I got it again yesterday. I'm like, you casted one game. Like, I might have overstated your role or a couple minutes ago, but you only casted one game. Don't act like this was such a major pain.
I will. I'm telling you, casting Oregon is a pain in the butt.
I still don't think it is. I'm gonna be honest. I know I've said this before. I know we love to do the whole Oregon sucks bit. And listen, I will never pass up an easy bit, especially if it fills the time. I will go for it every single time. But Oregon really isn't that bad. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. Can it be a bit slow? Yes, it can. But I like it because, as opposed to other maps, sure, the verticality is interesting, but here, you need to take a bit more direct gunfights, and it can be a bit more difficult for the attack to take certain sites like Basement, and when they do take it, and they do it well, it makes it all the more exciting, which is why I like Oregon. It has a special place in my heart. It's not great when you have it 8 times in a row, but no, neither is any map. Neither's any map.
I don't know. My opinion is it's just, I think it's too slow compared to what we usually see.
Well, I
think the only time,
so doesn't matter now, does it?
I think the only time I've seen it like not slow was like either you're watching like that top CL team, but they don't play very often anyway in Oregon, or when we watched CACL and they were just like monkeys.
That is true. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like it could be fun given the right circumstances, and I'm tired. I'm tired of all you being negative around Oregon, especially when Bank exists.
Cookies apparently loves it. Apparently, I don't know why.
See, and this is why I try and base my entire life around what CJ would do or think, and that is why I have met so much success in my daily life, and why you haven't. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm the one winning here. And again, Bank is also in the pool, and Bank is dreadful, in my opinion. I don't like casting Bank.
I guess it's the fact that you just don't cast Bank enough. That's why I don't care too much. I don't mind it too much. You barely ever cast it.
Keep in mind, a lot of the times when we talk about whether maps are good or not, it's not actually based on the quality of the map. No, I think all the comp maps are pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just the last couple times I casted Bank, they were just bare knuckle brawls, all out, just in the trenches. They're throwing mud in each other's faces, specifically that Parabellum 8-6 comeback all the way in Stage 3 playoffs against Investigation File, where just everything was left on the field, and it was a very long game. Hopefully here, for one of these teams, they are hoping for a quick game and a quick victory over their opponent, but I know all of us at home like something a bit more meaty to start out. We have Outlast versus NCSU, and Outlast, they'll be starting out on the defense on Oregon.
Now let's see what the bands are going to be. Is it going to be the same old? Is it going to be that Thatcher, Flores, Muriel, Valkyrie?
Sure not.
Yesterday, where they banned Maverick and then they had to ban Kaid in response because, if you lose Thatcher, you lose Maverick. Leaving Kaid the board is not fun. I wouldn't do that.
Well, Outlast, they will bite the bullet. They'll be the team to take down Thatcher. Will NCSU opt for that Maverick ban like Benny just said? Will they go for something maybe more like the Flores? And we've also seen Zofia banned sometimes on this map, but not between these two teams. Well, Look at that. There you go. I mean, I wouldn't say that's a direct call. I wasn't like, oh, I've read the leaves. I know NCSU are going to ban Zofia. It's just like, I've seen people do it before. Maybe it'll happen. And it did.
Well, this kind of leaves that Valkyrie mirror to be probably next here, because otherwise, like, there's no reason really to ban anything in response to Zofia ban. So I'm assuming this is going to ban mirror last because of how strong mirror is on Oregon.
Probably.
At this point, because, you know, having black mirrors is upstairs, you can put it on basement, you can put it in so many different directions. It's a pain in the butt. Or ban Kaid, which, okay, then. All right, that works too.
See, you talked about, excuse me, you talked about Oregon being fun under the right circumstances. I think this is one where it can certainly be it. No Kaid on the board means those hatches are just a lot easier to get. You don't need to have that Maverick cut through both the meeting hatch and the security hatch, which can take an ample amount of time to try and actually make that bottom floor clear possible. Now, send a couple X Kairos over there. You can open it up in like 30 seconds to a minute if you take the control quickly enough. So I think this specifically that ban will aid itself very well to a quicker Oregon. You even see the Hibana and the Maverick on the attack right now. We see a Thanos, that's Atheno if you don't know, on the dock. You will 6-pick 2. What do you know, Benny? The Mira.
Also, we say QQ, we're referring to somebody's name in this lobby that you have no clue how to.
We are referring to. Hold on, the screen cut away. I gotta read it all. Hold on. When we say QQ, we are referring to. I have to squint to read that. Wow. Knuven 3W08 07 specifically. So he will be referred to as QQ for the duration of this game. Apparently, he chose this name by, and I quote, slamming his hand on the keyboard. That is the explanation I was relayed to, but to be fair, that explanation was heard secondhand. Perhaps there is a greater meaning to this name that we have not fully appreciated or deciphered. It's absolutely possible. I just finished a book today in which there are some metaphors like that I've yet to fully ruminate on. This name could very well be like that. I don't know, though.
I think Link's giving too much credit.
I try to be optimistic.
Wait, anyway, so we're on the basement floor, and of course that mirror is gonna be a big one. Atheno bringing the mirror along, so we got to see how NCSU can deal with those mirrors. And well, they're not bringing anything like a Ying, so they can't really bring, they can't flash them out or smoke them. But maybe they're gonna try and destroy them with those Exkyros. Though of course there's no denial of hard breaching wise, so they should be able to somehow maybe shoot next Skyros. But at the same point, if you have someone playing that bomb chassis or playing nearby, they're also going to shoot them off. And so far, I believe nobody from LS is either roaming as well either.
No, everyone is very much concentrated towards the site, and with a Mira on the board and an elbow setup, it does appear that I was about to say it does appear that OUTLAST are not going to be too far off the site. But right as I said that, Nomad decided to prove me wrong, both in his movement, but also with the M870, as Benny has mentioned. And ironically enough, it's sometimes the weapon choice that can allow these kinds of plays. See him rotating up, moving into attic, opening up the floor below. Yeah, exactly. Waiting for Predator above and for anybody to enter in a meeting with a shotgun. But right as one moves on through, he can't spot the Hibana in time. There we go. You reveal his presence, but only do just a little bit of damage to Rai. Not enough to write home about, but one that more so reveals his presence and will alert the attack.
I guess that's supposed to be something crazy with that play, but he didn't kill anybody. He did 40 damage. So I guess it was at least somewhat endangering of Rai's life, but I don't think it's going to make a difference at this point. But we'll see as they're going for that back tower push so far. Wu's got an angle with that single wall soft, but grenade comes out from QQ, taking out Twist with the person, but Wu's there ready to try and refrag. Stop it so far. We still lose one member that's maybe helping out Jewel here. As Jewel's pushing up, he's the head of one. Down goes QQ in return, though. So at least that, the construction push has been nullified for the moment.
Well, and again, here's a nice benefit of that M870. Nomad can be the one to play close on this E-box doorway. Jewel can continue holding bunker. He can play a bit later with that shotgun or rotate back, but he can still use his utility to great effect. Though he has used all of his toxic canisters, and there's only a C4 left on the board for OUTLAST, so if the attack push on in, a lot of that utility will be expended. Nomad put to extremely low HP, 1 health, in fact. Much better than his attempt on Rai's life earlier on. Even a single bullet will be the end of him, or another nade if he's not careful, but he swings E-box, and Anarchy's back is turned to the Jaeger. Nomad able to win that fight without any contest from the attack. Predator slowly moving down, inwards into pillar, will spot the Jaeger, but he somehow whiffs the shots. Freezer also now a problem he has to deal with. He can't find anything right now on 1 HP. Not much he can do. A lot of this will be on the shoulders of Rai, trying to make a play in the final 15 seconds. He's creeped his way into bunker, and is anybody watching? Yes, they are. Atheno takes him down, and Nomad rounds it out onto Predator. And it's the first round for Outlast, and not too much to talk about with NCSU, especially in the final 30 seconds.
Yeah, there wasn't too much to really digest there, besides the fact that just gunfights are important there. Just the fact that you saw there who was getting the gunfights play there, Rai being able to swing onto the player outside of construction, outside bunker, just fights that were just singular fights with no real way of refrag. Nobody's there to help out those players. Sure, there was at least a grenade kill for one player. But other than that, there wasn't much control made by the members of NCSU when it came to the execute. There was nothing either they could use gadget-wise to even make the execute work, because they didn't bring a Ying. They didn't really, only thing they really had was grenades to try and push off these players, and you can tell that only one grenade was able to help in that regard. So at that point, NCSU just got to win fights at that point.
Yeah. And NCSU's had to win fights, and again, the odd benefit of the Jaeger having that M870 is he can play close on that door. Again, not exactly the weapon you would think, but sometimes it is the unorthodox pick that can actually be what you need in routes. Not saying that's what won him it, but it's actually something interesting that probably worked out a little bit. Now they've won the first defense on basement, moving up to dorms is the next logical step for any team on Oregon. That's exactly what Outlast will do. Bringing in a Rooney and a Thunderbird as well, so I'd say a combination we've seen before, but Thunderbird definitely being, I would say, the most out there. Thunderbird always seems to serve kind of odd purposes. Sometimes they might be bringing her for the Kona stations to aid positions. Say if they want to play inside of Wolf or Trophy, could put a Kona station there. I don't believe they have, but the Kona station can also be put inside a pit to aid the player playing close that's trying to counter anybody pushing in from attic. Beyond that, Thunderbird doesn't really offer much, but hey, if anybody's playing that position and they get naded and they're not killed, Kona station, they will thank very much for putting them back to high HP.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of agree with you. It's not really too much it brings, but having a C4 and a nice gun can always be, comfort pick, I guess you would say.
Those are sometimes the best reasons to pick operators on certain maps. So
yeah,
I get it.
Good gun, C4, go around as 3-speed, just taking fights. Sometimes that's what you need to win these rounds. So we'll see how NCU does this time around. As well, gunfights were kind of the issue last time around, just taking 1-for-1s and not able to win those important fights last round. So first off, we see NCSU going towards that master side, going towards big tower as well. So it's looking to be a master attic push for them to push us out. And so far, nobody from Outlast. There's a couple members downstairs actually. So a couple members are trying to see if they can, catch anybody from NCSU off guard if they're going for some of that vertical play. But it is going straight to work, looking to open up that wall, open up that attic wall straight out. No, going for any kind of downstairs play for the moment.
Nah, they were anticipating that push in from main door, but the Yana just sends a nade on in, destroys the mute jammer. They can open up this bedroom wall, no problem, and turn their entire attention to opening up attic. Nomad will take quite a bit of damage on that white white stairs rotate, and there you can see the benefit of the Kona station, putting both Jewel and Nomad up to increased HP. So again, sometimes even though it might not be the most direct use, when you do take damage, say from a nade, it will be very much appreciated. And while we're talking about Jewel, could be the recipient of one momentarily. 4 nades all gunned towards his position right now. 2 shot at the exact same time or thrown at the exact same time. But neither do much damage to Jewel. He will put himself in the smoke canister, so take a little bit of damage as it landed on him. Ooh, just a bit too far to the right. Jewel so far been unread in this position. Twist gets the first kill. The opening one onto Rai, but finally, the third nade, the fourth of the bunch, lands right at Jewel's feet. Now Taco pushing up, the only one left inside of the static push.
Well, so far we have 1-for-1 so far. Rai going down to twist elsewhere, and that that grenade coming out makes the push into attic. So they know they're attic, but Anarchy to pick onto Athena from the window. So it's more damage done, and these players now in Outlast to be wary of the positions, wary of these different angles. But it's that game's attic push. If they can deny attic, I will say Anarchy is going for a big window play, maybe to create a different angle, because Twist needs to be pinched out. He's kind of the first for the stopping motion for the attic push so far, and there's still a player by gates who's getting aggressive. He's gonna run out one member. Maybe Nomad takes down Predator, and yet Q's goes down to Woos. Woos now plays the diffuser and plays that game's wall now with those little angles down by him. He finishes off QQ, and now it's down to Taco and Anarchy. Taco's playing by himself. Both members on NCSU are kind of far apart now, though Anarchy's make a play. He's been refragged in that same event, and now it's Taco all by himself, taken down by Woos. Outlast will take another defense.
Yeah, right there. Once Woos ran out of that bedroom door and dropped the diffuser or took down the man with the diffuser, and it was dropped onto that bedroom balcony. There really was not much for the remaining two members of NCSU to do. They had to go for those kills, and based on where the defense was positioned, it was highly unlikely that with the only member actually being in the building, Definka, stuck inside of attic without any real good opening into the site, and their other teammate that was still alive outside of the building on rappel, very unlikely they'd come away with that round unless Outlast started giving their lives away, and thankfully they didn't. They played a lot more disciplined, though, again, ironic that it was started by Wu sending it out the bedroom breach, that the disciplined play then came a little bit later to win out that round. But even then, Wu's play on that breach was probably the defining moment, because NCSU, they were able to get open the bedroom wall extremely quickly. The attic wall as well. Sure, they lost the Hibana outside that, but Rai had already done his job. It was the attic push that was the big problem. It faced some bumps, but not enough to be problematic. But it was Woos who really put the nail in the coffin for NCSU, because once that diffuser was dropped and it was only the attic and the bedroom rappel left, I mean, there really just wasn't anything they could do with the time they had remaining.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because they had the man advantage too at that point, to having getting that pick after getting the wall open, you know, able to take that grenade kill, able to kill pop top of that push through, start taking fights. But yeah, just the fact that Woos played that so well, and maybe there was a bit of hesitation from the side of Outlast, but well, not Outlast, from NCSU, because I guess it's hard when you've opened up that game's wall, you've gotten that first opening pick, you've gotten you're pushing away the upper pick, but trade at least, you got an opening trade to keep it going. And then that attic push is difficult though, because you can't just walk into attic after getting that pick though, because they reinforce half the wall, they're playing it. No, I'm not sure. It's those are difficult situations to go for. But anyway, we're on to the next site. We're not a tertiary site for Outlast. We're on to meeting and kitchen for them. And of course, it's going to be that roam game for them for the moment. Most times, most teams do that.
Yeah, on this side, it's very hard to just play full 5-man stack downstairs on that first floor. Just not enough spots to sit, especially as this is one of the only sites on Oregon where you can actually get some meaningful vertical play going through. Maybe the hatch inside a meeting, maybe the floor inside of dorms. If you get above there and you're going for a kitchen plant, some sledge holes and that hatch as well can go a long way in covering that plant. You do need to roam a little bit and hold that top floor, and NCSU, unless they're going for a meeting plant, will have to clear it. Doesn't appear that's that way right now. One player pushing very quickly into classrooms. Nomad will try to take a fight or just fire a couple shots over towards the Yana, and QQ will be more so off-put than anything, not finding an attacker or defender, I suppose, at the moment.
Well, Twist gets some info from his team, impact the floor right above QQ, but QQ's gonna back off for the moment. Grenade comes out onto what QQ would expect, maybe someone's predictable position, and there it is, looking for the head. Twist sees it first. Unfortunately, QQ goes down. There goes your other grenade. That one more is thrown as Predator is trying to push up, but so far NCSU aren't really making a conservative effort, not conservative, but a concentrate effort towards that top floor. Maybe they're trying to just maybe go for that meeting play, open that wall up and push through and get a plant down.
Well, right now, they are certainly opening up that meeting wall, but this one might be more for coverage than anything. We're seeing Predator holding the top of Armory Stairs, Rai opening up one of those split meeting walls. They're trying to go in from probably one of the more uncommon sides on the southern side of the site, as opposed to opening up these meeting walls, opening up the attic wall, and holding and getting a bomb down. They are opening up this bottom wall, but specifically to deny rotations inside of the site and try to get Rai to get a bomb down more on main lobby side. Issue here, Outlast still have all 5 of their men on the board. Nomad can contest from Z exactly like he's doing right now, and that will always be an ever-present threat that Predator, if he wants to watch this angle, will have to deal with, and there's not many angles they can contest from. Nomad will instead rotate back into security, but he can still push out and try to go for a frag. Twist gets his second as Rai pushes in. Is there any denial from Outlast? No, there's not! Nobody's watching. Nobody's making any kind of play. Taco gets one. Jewel finally takes down Rai, but the bomb's already on the floor. Predator watching from the main lobby doorway gets one, but Woos with a nice refrag makes this a lot more winnable. Taco is trapped on the back tower stairs right now with no angle presenting itself to deny the defuse, as you can stand inside that split doorway and get it down without the Finka even remotely seeing you. Jewel will spray all 81 of his bullets to take him down. 3 rounds in a row for Outlast.
One round right there, and yeah, there was seemed to be a bit more a minimalistic play there from NCSU. They just wanted to open up those walls, create that crossfire from 2 different directions, from that garage side and from that big tower side. Get that plant down and play the post plant, but they already lost someone early. They lost QQ early, making it already a disadvantage. On top of that, they opened the wall up in big tower. They started opening up the wall into site from garage side, and even in that execute, they were losing members in the execute. And got to the point where they're in a 3v5 with the post down. And it was that point too, that member Rai who goes finding it goes down too. So it's like that you're in a you're in a 3v5 trying to hold the diffuser. You got one person by themselves in garage. You got two people, or actually, I think one person with big tower, and two people by themselves in garage. And there's not much you can do when they start swinging. You saw Wu swing. You saw all the members of Outlast start swinging and win their fights. So NTSU had a plan. Just unfortunate they have quite the manpower to keep it supported.
Once in that 5v3, even the best post plans can still be difficult because the defense could just play those trades and win out their fights. Outlast have won 3 rounds so far. The only 3 they've been played, and they've won all of the sites they've gone to. They'll go back down to basement, what is usually the stronghold on Oregon, and it's so far proven true for Outlast. I believe they'll bring a Thunderbird in this lineup, which I don't believe we saw previously, Benny. I might be wrong. I don't think we saw it on the site, but feel free to correct me.
I don't think so, but I also don't remember it too much because that round was kind of like not too much of that round. Like, they didn't even see the Thunderbird happen, so I don't believe we did.
Oh no, because Nomad is playing the Jaeger and he had M870.
Oh, was it maybe Twist was playing Malusi?
I believe Twist. I don't remember if he's playing Malusi, but he was playing a different operator because I don't believe in any realm that Twist would willingly play Jaeger with the M870. That's just what info I can gather.
But yeah, last time it was kind of just you let Outlast do their thing in the basement. You let NCSU kind of, do their stuff, open the hatches up and create the execute. And well, they went for that big tower, back tower stairs. They went for that drop, went for that kind of bunker play. But it was a lot of solo pushes from the side of NCSU. Just, peeking down single walls, taking a fight 50-50. You lose that fight. You go, one person goes bunker by himself and someone swings from Outlast. They lose that fight too. And those are the kind of fights that kind of leave you man down, and it's difficult to really bring it back when you're in a man down. These bunker-like situations, these bunker-like plays in the defense.
Well, NCSU might be able to find a pick if both the Thunderbird and the Jaeger continue getting a little aggressive. They'll fire quite a bit of shots. Not entirely sure where. Is it through that stage wall?
Oh,
or is it through?
Oh, well,
no,
I guess them through attic wall, I guess, but.
Oh, they just fired a lot of shots. I'm not entirely sure where, but it was in that area. And Twist, well, both Twist and Nomad will get aggressive. They've not heard many attackers enter inside a meeting, but right as that happens, there's the Nomad. Walks right into the crosshairs of the Thunderbird. Twist picks up 1, too. There is a trade, thankfully. Anarchy able to take 1 down, but thankfully as well for the attack, they've not lost either of their hard breachers, but that could change momentarily as Rai caught with his back turn. Ooh, a beautiful play by Anarchy. He's able to catch Twist before he goes out, and most importantly, Rai is only downed. He can be picked back up, and he opened up that E-box hatch before he was felled. That is highly important for NCSU on their attack. If he goes down even a second sooner and that hatch remains closed, Anarchy would be forced to spend 15-20 seconds opening it up, and that would basically win the round for Outlast. Now here, it's certainly not easy. Rai on low HP, and they still have to move to the bottom floor. It's going to be problematic. But they've also taken down 2 members from Outlast in turn, both Nomad and Twist. Some of them are ones who are capable of getting aggressive. They can get 1 kill here. They can certainly move down and win this round, their first one for the attack. Nade sails on through. Doesn't do any damage to Jewel sitting in bunker right now. As Rai moves over to security, I'm worried the attack might be spreading itself too thin. 1 on Laundry right now, 1 on Freezer, and 1 on Big Tower Stairs. All of the attack are in solo positions right now, and even in a 3v3, if Outlast can just win 1 fight, this will basically collapse in the attack's hands. Woo's already wins 1, 2 more, and you're 4-0 right now. There's the second. Can QQ deny the third? He's able to win his first one onto Atheno with only 10 seconds left. He has to bet on Jewel or Woo's, giving away their position. Half his time is now gone, and Woo's position on red. A 4-0 for Outlast. It became a bit worrisome towards the end, but that early play by Nomad and Twist really got things going, and they never stopped it out.
I would say, too, even the fact that if they evened out when it comes to the man count by taking those fights, Twist losing his fight later on, just the fact that you're in a 3v3 going into a bunker-style defense, going into execute, makes it so difficult for the attack, especially on Oregon, especially walking into those angles that they're, the defense are expecting. They have mirror set up, they have, shield set up, they have angles ready for it, and they do make that push. And I can see what NTO is trying to do. They're trying to create different angles for the, for them, so they can try and spread out the defense and take ones rather than walking straight into what the defense is expecting, maybe walking to a choke point where all 3 are expecting to kill them all. But at the same point, again, it's difficult. Those are situations where you're trying to find a pick, you're trying to find a weakness in the defense from Outlast at that point, because otherwise, how are you going to make that execute? You have barely any utility, you have a couple grenades, you have X-Kairos to try and destroy those mirrors, but you're running out of time. You got to make it quick, and they're trying to push through it, and they made the choice to just, hey, we're going to try different angles, try and push and pull and prod at what this defense is and see if we can find something. And unfortunately, OUTLAST were ready for it. They were playing for it, playing disciplined and playing together in a sense, while still playing, able to give each other info in that last minute or so.
Well, this round was another example where the setup seemed okay, but then it was a play by OUTLAST that really threw things out of loop, and that's kind of what happened in the previous round. Nomad and Twist able to make a play early on that really set the tone for NCSU, even though there was a bit better of a chance. Here, it was Wooz and Wooz alone who was able to make something massive happen, peeking out that bedroom breach and putting the man count further in the defense's favor, and also dropping the diffuser in a critical, unreachable position. Right now, it's Twist playing there a lot earlier on than where we saw the Aruni play here last time. Just trying to get an early kill, see if anybody rotates up, rappels up onto the balcony. There's one player over there right now, but there's a much more over by Attic, and we'll see if the defense is as easily or as well prepared.
Well, see if any trades happen, because you saw last time too, they were trying to. We had some trades in the beginning that put NCSU in a bit of a stress there, a bit of a lead there when it came to man count, but it didn't improve much. As let's talk about Woo's making that play, just putting Diffuse in the closet, giving them the man count advantage in the end, just put them really just stop them entirely. But last time too, yeah, we had this first start. It was the main part of NCSU was they went straight for the walls, they went straight for the game wall, straight for the attic wall. They opened them up, they start crit execute quick, which is good. We see the team isn't lagging behind, they're not being slow, they're taking quick control of these and these points and making sure that they can get into, they start to execute early. It just comes down to the gunfights more than anything from NCSU, and just making sure that they can try and take control, push forward past some of these obstacles made by OUTLAST.
Taco probably praying right now that someone will get aggressive inside of Attic. If he does, Taco would surely win that fight, but it's probably for that exact reason that Twist and Jewel aren't too eager to get aggressive. They might not know of Taco's position, but no reason giving away the game when there's still a minute and a half to go. Plus, Jewel is much stronger playing in pit with that shotgun and that C4, and also playing alongside Twist or anybody wants to move and support him as the second man holding down Attic. The bedroom wall not open just yet. This is taking a lot longer than it did last time. Woo's maybe feeling impatient. Will start to fire some shots through that main doorway, but there we go. Finally, the X-Kairos put on that wall, but here's Nomad, not the Aruni, but he's trying to go for the same play. Spotted, he'll back off, not wanting again to give away his life when he doesn't need to. This could still be the play that wins the round. It might happen a little later, and it might happen a bit different, but it could still be it, especially now that NCSU are quickly gaining ground. Jewel, the pit player, was taken down on a long angle, the exact opposite gunfight I imagine he was hoping he would have to take. So now this pressure from Attic can be realized in a lot more full of a way, as opposed to how it was previously on NCSU's Dorms attack. They are in a prime position to win this right now. All they have to do is just keep pressing forward. Taco starts cooking a nade, but puts it back in his pocket. Him and Anarchy might be enough on this duo push. Twist playing close in the wall with Ruse close behind. If they get the trades here, the momentum could swing back in the defense's favor. They just have to pray that won't be the case. Starting to get low, starting to get close to the red zone. In NCSU, they might be in a 3v5, but they're not pushing very quickly. And a Rooney Gate standing between Q. The Maverick on the rappel. They're getting these kills, but can they still be stopped? Nomad goes big. He's the only one left, but he gives himself up to the White Stairs push. It was looking a little slow. It was looking a little scary, but still, the man count in the end was enough to give NCSU their first round.
I think big thing too is the fact that you saw like Anarchy right there going to the big window earlier in that round, 1 minute earlier, but at least at a certain point. We saw I think it was one player on the side of NCSU go to White Stairs as well. Just having those different angles was important to get those picks, and well, the first pick on pit was a big one. At that point, it causes OUTLAST to worry about that Attic push, and worry about those players who are pushing through Attic, which was only one. It was Taco by himself, but that causes the movement for OUTLAST. You saw members like Nomad or Twist, who's just, I'm not sure it's Twist or actually Woo's lying down, trying to watch for it. You saw Athena also try to reposition to make sure that nobody pushes from Attic, but that allows for those other members from NCU to then take positions, find weak points, players rotating, take them down one after another, and you saw it tumbling further and further as round goes farther and farther as OUTLAST members trying to, reposition to try and stop NCSU and losing it time and time again. So great job from NCSU to get those picks. They need to get one more. They gotta try to get 4-2-half. Going 5-1 isn't gonna look for the good for them, and we are going back to this tertiary bomb site.
OUTLAST rotating quickly for their final round, and here, it's not that the execute itself was bad for NCSU. They had a lot of their bases covered. They opened up that split wall, they opened up the meeting wall to cover Rai getting that bomb down. They had control over my classroom to make sure nobody could push in from Z and get a kill from their back, and there wasn't much the defense could really do with vertical play just based on the angle. They were still able to deny that hatch pretty effectively, but it was the fact that they lost a couple bodies early on that made the execute work much worse than it could have. If they're able to maybe not give themselves up to those early fights or even win them, I think they could honestly go for the same play, and it would probably work out. It was just those 1 or 2 early deaths that cost them in the end.
Yep, not having the manpower to keep hold of that diffuser is huge there. So, well, we'll see what happens this time. As a bit different from OUTLAST, though, they're bringing the castle along, making sure that there's more coverage when it comes to trying to push into certain angles. But from NCSU side, it seems to be the same play so far. Take control garage, take control big tower, and then start open up the walls and start creating that, that pinch like you saw last time to make sure that nobody can rotate through meeting whatsoever. But they got a drone so far first, see what's going on, see what's they can scope out from the side of OUTLAST. One thing BP is pretty big there. BP watching garage, so OUTLAST could have a better time figuring things out if they're going to go for that same play, having that BP watch from Z onwards toward garage. So we'll see how different it is. It looks like it'll be just pushing to the road. QQ looking to find a pick, thinks someone's right in the corner, but again, this top floor control is huge. You cannot be kind of mismanaging and thinking you can just walk through the hallway at someone above watching for that.
And this is exactly where QQ lost his life earlier, and something he has to be cognizant of. This engagement likely favors Woosh, just having the high ground, having that angle already pre-made. He could pre-fire it if he wants to, because he knows generally where QQ's going to be, and it's Diana who has to keep guessing as to the Iruni's position. But both him and Twist will just hold this top floor right now. Not content to, well, give themselves up to any early engagements or potentially lose a fight. No, this control will age a lot better if it's kept in their hands. Castle, on the other hand, all the way down below, inside of the belly of Oregon. Nomad moving up those main stairs. As the attack accounted for this, Pred is watching Z Hall and that main split door, but nobody's watching this entrance, this doorway from the bottom of basement stairs. QQ spot, he's put to low HP, but it's Raiwai with the first kill. The Maestro down inside of the site. He was pretty big, a massive anchor previously when NCSU tried to attack this, and now they're just pushing on in. Anarchy takes down his teammate as he gets 1 kill, and that might be the TK that seals the 5-1 half for OUTLAST. That was the push right there. That was it. But now this top control has not been dealt with. Woos can creep down and stop QQ's heart on that main doorway. Rai finally trying to push in. It's Pred to even things up, and the entry, the Hibana, the next to fall. Then Nomad left in the 1v2. He's got to fight Nomad, his counterpart in name, and Woos upstairs. 28 seconds left. He has time to maybe go for that frag, but the Iruni knows it and retreats back into the depths of Attic, moving towards that hatch to watch and play further back, give themselves the long angle alongside Nomad. But Pred wins that fight. He's able to win 1, but he's on 1 HP. The Maestro, could he zap him? No. Woos has the angle on the hatch, and he can spot him easily. OUTLAST 5-1 on Oregon defense so far. Now's the question, can they just get 2 rounds on attack and seal this out in regulation?
Only 2. But same point, that was just NCSU. Unfortunately, they were trying to go for that same play, but they saw there were countermeasures set in place by OUTLAST. There was BPs. They were place things in place to make sure they couldn't go for that same play. The castle barricades and different angles that they had waiting for, OUTLAST had waiting for them, making sure they couldn't go for that same play. So at that point, you saw they had to make a different play. They had to try something different. It was that push that Anarchy and Taco trying to make the Green Hall into kitchen, try to make an impact, try to put a dent in that man count to make it difficult for OUTLAST to try and hold off. But you saw there, unfortunately, Anarchy gets a kill, but also shoots Taco in the back of the head, and that kind of throws that entire thing out the window.
Yeah, that play seemed to be working. Through that single doorway, it's always difficult. I mean, anything could happen once they breach the threshold of kitchen. They could have won all of their fights. They could have immediately lost it, and all of the ground they previously gained would have been lost. It's hard to say how that would have happened. It really just depends on if they win those gunfights, which were about 50-50s. You could say Anarchy there. At least with Taco, he has more of a chance. They were both lined up. Maybe even if he doesn't TK, that player who ended up taking down Taco or Anarchy, maybe he collapsed both of them. Again, it's a very hectic situation. But here, timeout's done. Move to NCSU's defending half, where they should, in theory and hopefully, have a bit of an easier time if they want to keep this close. This is a necessary round for OUTLAST to win if they want to move to match point and crush NCSU quickly. If they're able to get an early win on this basement site, whether it be a quick round by a rush or something much more standard, slow, but still something they can solidify in the end. I don't see NCSU coming back for that after the base win. Of course, it's possible. They always could. This is definitely a must-win round for NCSU to start the pace well on the defensive half, but if Outlast take it, that could be the game right there.
There's a lot of open holes, actually. I don't very often see E-Box like that, actually, where they open up all of the holes like that, but I see the reason why is because they're holding on to meeting. So this is going to be looks to be a full roam from the side of NCSU, and they have the hatch open. They have those holes so they can use the hatch and deny people pushing from that big tower stairs, from that bunker side towards sites. So let us see what can Outlast deal with a crazier strat here from the side of NCSU compared to what we usually see on Oregon as Anarchy runs by the Witcher's window. He's been spotted by a member of Outlast. And I think at this point, Outlast should understand there's quite a strategy here from NCSU. 2 members in the kitchen, members in meeting, and well, Predator's dead.
That's exactly what I was worried about. Rome, if Twist is hitting his shots, or anybody, could be an easy opening pick, and, well, it is, but Anarchy's still there. He's able to keep things even, keep it a 4v4, but now without a friend, this is easier for Outlast to take. They can go up above if they want, as nobody's roaming up there, but ooh, a trade, a very impactful one at that. Both the Yana and the Twitch taken down. This entire Rome clear, and the Rome as well, have both fallen. Those nades in Yana's pocket, too, gone as well. If Q can get this kill onto the unsuspecting Finka right here, there we go. That is what NCSU need. They can retreat back if they want to. Taco and Q both falling to the bottom floor because the damage has already been done, and it's going to be very hard for Jewel and Atheno to recover from this.
Oh, that was huge there. Great kills and put themselves in the man count now for NCSU. They just got to bunker down. But the issue is now a lot of these walls and hatches are open now for Outlast to use, and there's quite a bit of time to figure things out. Sure, it's only they're down a man, so it's 2v3. But if they can find an angle onto one of these members on the defense with all the open holes that they've made on that defense itself. But there was one member getting aggressive on the side of NCSU. Oh man, I don't think Jewel is expecting it because he's looking down this hatch, not thinking that some NC is going to get aggressive playing inside of Green Hall. He backs off. Taco, they're ready for a fight. But he's actually been seen with the drone, so he's going to back off now, which makes sense. They want to get the pick off. They want to give Outlast a chance now that it's 3v2 as we go down, and it looks like that so far. Question is, what does Outlast do here? What angles can they make with that?
Just somebody needs to get a pick. Whatever angle they have or angles they're going to create the next 45 seconds, they need to get a kill. Q will waste his C4, ripping it and sending it a little bit prematurely as nobody had entered that freezer stairs. So that's a good piece of utility to burn as Taco still has a C4 and Ryver still has all 3 of his smoke canisters, but it's the guns that are doing the work for NCSU so far in their defense. Taco able to get maybe the second to last kill of the round if Jewel isn't able to say much in this 1v3, and he will go quietly into the end of round number 7. NCSU take their first round in quite a while, and they will win what could be a necessary round going forward.
Yeah, that was a wild round, really. That was just NCSU going full on that roam, taking fight after fight. I was scared there, seeing Predator go down first, Twist, but Anarchy able to trade out, get another second pick off of that. That was a trade. But then, of course, QQ gets that pick on to Taco, unaware of his position inside a freezer. That's the kind of thing with that setup they had, with the amount of different angles they created and the amount of roam they created. It was difficult to probably drone out where these players were. And well, Taco had no clue that QQ was sitting on top of freezer stairs with a shotgun waiting for him. So it was the kind of big picks that put them in the way. And at that point, it was the last 2 players on Outlast that had to figure out how to get some picks, how to try to isolate some of these defenders, and make that possible. And in the end, they went for that freezer push. And by that point, NCSU were totally ready for it. They knew where they're coming from, focused, barrels down on that position, and gunned the last 2 down.
Well, you know what I'm and you know what I'm prepared for? You know what I'm hoping for?
What are you prepared for? Oh, well, yeah.
I'm hoping for an eventful qualifier number 2 from January 14th to the 16th. If you enjoyed either watching or playing in this qualifier that you see going on right now, well, fear not. It is not only your only chance to qualify, and it's also not your only chance to watch some great Siege in the amateur scene, because we have that qualifier from January 14th to the 16th. Type in !play for more info. That will do a much better and more concise job of explaining than I ever could, because, well, it was pre-written ahead of time. We had time to plan it out to squeeze as much information in there, whereas me, a lowly caster, is flying by the seat of my pants every second on every broadcast. So type in !play, go to SCS, follow our Twitter, our website. We'll have more info about our qualifier, and I'm sure you'll hear us talk about it more and more as the weekend goes on.
Wait, you can't give it the secret. I can't tell me we just wing everything, because I wing everything.
I didn't say we wing everything. We definitely don't wing everything. But, especially in moments like this, some things are going to come up. Sometimes I'll throw a bit at you that you're not expecting, and you have to adapt.
Adapt. Come on, guys.
It's like
That's
improv.
how
It's like rhythm.
you get a good player.
It's like rhythm. It's like jazz.
Adapt, overcome. Come on, guys. It's training. But anyway, we're on NCSU's. Well, they're trying to adapt and overcome right now because they have to see one. Oh, and there's a member.
see what you
I
did
don't know if
there.
you quite saw that head. It was Nomad sitting on top of the roof as Anarchy's playing a T3 position here. And I don't know if anyone from Outlast even knows this. And it could be a big if they don't. They go for something that repels. But right with the first pick on to Wu to start us off. I don't know what it was even, but losing Yana early, losing 2 grenades, and actually that's an angle they're playing from that attic side towards that hallway from Armory. So maybe some quick drone, not we'll say not quick enough droning, or not knowing that he was playing that, or just going for just going for the fight.
Well, either way, they will know that there was a smoke playing behind a shield inside of attic, and they'll be hesitant to take that gunfight or posture as aggressively inside a trophy as they might have before. They can still open that bedroom wall without much recourse from the defense, though, which is perfectly fine. I'm sure NCSU are like, okay, yeah, they can get it up. They can take down the mute jammer pretty easily. Not too worried about that. More so here, what can you do with that bedroom control? Because this is a necessary angle playing on this wolf doorway to try and make work. Well, there's somebody holding or 2 people holding inside of attic. Really not much you can do, and the bedroom push isn't all that it's cracked up to be, especially if nobody's pressuring attic either. If Anarchy and the rest are allowed to play here with impunity, really difficult to find an opening.
Yeah, at this point it's been very concentrated from Outlast on this game side. Somebody from Outlast now needs to make a play to disrupt this because Anarchy and Predator, Rise backed off though, so it's only Anarchy playing for the moment. But you see QQ and Taco now downstairs. Maybe expecting that nobody's playing downstairs. There's a rotate maybe with the C4. They're wasting. Unfortunately, Flash comes out, pushes Predator off. But so far, Outlast only have control of Trophy in this Master side. It could be strong. He's like to try and smoke out or push through, but wait, the smoke's kind of late. Anarchy, unfortunately, doesn't push off and twist off that play. 1 kill for him. Nomad with another of his own. Right had to play off of it. Ryder's gotten 2. Well, Predator will get that kill instead, though, but still, that's a kind of a wall to stop them. But the rest of the members who were off-site now they come back, which was Taco. Taco coming back up White Stairs as Outlast now have control of sight. He's got to take 2 fights on these members. One's probably going to start to plant in the corner. He doesn't have a C4 in hand, so if he got intel... Can he get the C4 in hand? Does he even intel where these members are? He's going to walk and Taco's his way through. Where's the coverage? There it is. Jules got him. I was scared for a second there.
Yeah, and I was... Well, I was going to say I was scared, but really... Kind of... I wouldn't say it's entirely on the Aruni. Not entirely, but... I mean, come on. Twist... pushed a little bit too quickly. He tried to smoke off that attic angle to either push into the site or push and swing the attic. Swing pit, where the Aruni was playing. But right before he does, he times it a little bit too quick. For about 1.5 seconds. I don't actually know if it was 1.5 seconds, but it felt like it. For enough time to be noticeable. He's standing on that smoke grenade before it goes off, and he's right there. His back is turned to the Aruni player. And only 1 shot is fired. Anarchy doesn't die. He misses. That allows Twist to push into that doorway, catch the Aruni off guard, win that fight, and that was the dominoes, the chain that started to fall and win that round for Outlast and crush NCSU. Because once they have that attic control and the push in through that doorway works, everything changes. They push into dorms, they're able to play their trade since the attic pressure and the attic hold is no longer there. They're able to work the bedroom angle very successfully as well, win a couple fights there. If Anarchy is able to stop that push in from or into attic by Twist, if he's able to kill that Twitch once Twist's back turn, I can't say the entire round goes differently, but I know that NCSU, in all likelihood, are probably the victors if they can win that fight.
Yeah, I would say that it's crazy because we saw it was 2 parts to that. There was the Twist play and there was I think there was another play from Nomad as well, or another play elsewhere onto the site. That was because if they have control attic, they can deny then that other push from Outlast that was probably from that game as well, I'm assuming. That could have been a different direction in that play, because once they had that attic control, once they had that game control, then they started flooding in the site. They started flooding towards that kid side, and you saw Rye and Predator under fire trying to keep control of kids while they're being sieged by the members of Outlast. Could have been story had attic control, but that's all in the past. And Twist starts off once again killing Anarchy. Twist has been on a roll with some of these opening picks, and that's a run out from the side of Anarchy with that DMR once again, and well, he'll get picked off, and that's not a great start for NCSU.
No, it is not at all. At least at least when Twist got the opening pick the first round, it was actually, well, funny enough, it was Anarchy who was able to trade it out. It was Pred who was the first taken down, but Anarchy peaks, swings, gets the trade afterwards. Here, very quick run out is met by an even quicker response by the Twitch, and there's nobody in sight who could possibly trade that unless Twitch just gives his life away. So OUTLAST have a lot more momentum a lot earlier on than they have in really any round previously, and they just won on Dorms, where they lost the opening duel and couldn't trade it out. They can win that. Surely they can take it here. The X-Kairos going off at about the same time they have, able to open up that bedroom wall pretty soon. Again, without really much of a fight from the defense. Not that there is one. Taco retaking down below could be huge as, well, nobody's right there, but a second kill from Twist could sing and spell doom for NCSU.
Yeah, NCSU with the same kind of strat here, playing those shields towards the trophy side. Looks like Nomad will throw the E1D out. See one player, but of course they're behind a wall. Rai with another kill. Down goes Twist. Stop that, Rai will stop that terror that is Twist with an F2. He's going to pull off, use those smokes to try and push that play even farther. But again, this is the kind of same play from NCSU. So OUTLAST now, the question is, do they know what to do here? They know what to deal with it. Last time it was Twist who was the main play to stop it. Stop the Attic play by running in after the smoke grenade. But out Nomad's going to go below, maybe go towards White Stairs and throw some of these NCS players off, because that's going to be big. If you can walk up White Stairs and catch someone off guard, throw off that positioning, this could cause terror in their ranks. He's walking up. He doesn't see him promote, but he did catch someone with the E1D.
Most importantly, he still has one EE1D to make this push in work. There's two players inside of Attic right now. Rai close on that door. Actually, no, not two players. Just Taco inside of Attic. Rai is the one who used to be there. He's now moved out, playing close on that Wolf doorway. Predator moving over, watching White instead. So this could be big. He's able to play close with a shotgun, but the second one eludes him for the moment. The White Stairs puts him down to 1 HP. There's still Predator to stop that entry. There's Taco on red inside of Attic, making great use of the hole made in this wall. They don't know about Predator's position either. Nomad's going to walk straight into the Goyo's crosshairs, but maybe he reacts in time. It's a triple from Taco right now. 2 kills for Rai as well. And NCSU pull back from the brink and win a round that looked doomed from the start.
Yeah, losing 2 players early, it was scary. It was Twist with a 2K to start us off here for OUTLAST, and we're looking at NCSU, we're like, oh no. But OUTLAST, in the end, from that same play we've seen time and time again, when there's that same site twice in a row, they go for the same play. They go for the same kind of games take, despite the amount of holes, the amount of utility put towards that games to that trophy side. You saw the Taco play in the corner by the reinforced wall inside of Pit. You see Rai playing with the shotgun close in the corner, expecting the push from game side. The only push in there that could have made a difference maybe was Nomad on the Lion walking up White to try and make a play, to try and stop them, make at least get a crossfire in the member in trophy, or not trophy, inside of Attic or Pit. Doesn't really play there, because otherwise you're walking into what NCSU were expecting. You saw them play. You saw Rai play perfectly with a shotgun. We saw Taco play it great, playing that angle as well, and denying the play. And they were down. They were 3-5, and they still able to make those kills and make that happen. So great work on NCSU. They've got 3 more rounds though. They have quite a trek to make it back though.
A good start, to be sure. Now they can once again cut their teeth on a basement site they attempted previously. I believe Nomad was not on the floor as well on that first attempt at a defense. So here, those Rotera drones will certainly find some good uses, specifically on the deployable shield from Rai. Didn't see as much of a bunker hold previously because they were so heavily focused on that meeting room, but still, wherever it's placed will be good. And also maybe to root out roamers and push them further into meeting and into positions where they can be pinched out and they can take that vertical control from the defense. We'll have to see what happens, though, as Rai, I believe, putting his deployable shield on bottom laundry stairs. So if they want to go for a freezer laundry take, they do have to worry about the Mute and the Mozzie, but those Flores drones could take down one of the most important pieces of utility if they go that way. Doesn't appear that.
Also, he's the only one really on site too, because everyone else is roaming. So this could be a play where you want to bypass and push towards site, but looks like at this point OUTLAST are electing to try and push these roamers once again, where last time it was a 2-2. You saw Twist get the opening pick, trade it out, and then go for another trade at the end there and keep it a 3v3 at the end there. They lose a member, making it a 3v2 at the end. So QQ was caught catching Taco off guard. So this time they want to try and keep it as minimal as possible, at least push these roamers without getting picked off too early, because when it goes to execute, when it goes to that bunker style defense, you go into the execute with not a lot of utility. It's difficult to try and push that and make that happen. So far we see them joining things out. They have control big tower, but I don't think they're just going to push straight down to the site. They're trying to see how many people are around them.
First Rotera drone sent out from Nomad. Not through that. Oh, no, yes, through that attic wall. There you go. You can open that floor up potentially to see an angle. He's sitting. I've noticed NCSU, of course, they love to do it, but OUTLAST also love using and sitting on these rafters as an angle. Unfortunately, he'll drop down, so instead trying to aid Woos on that entry onto that first floor. I believe they might have some bit of intel on the player playing on that meeting wall who's now backed off. Half the round gone. OUTLAST seem like they might be getting stuck on this roam on the top floor. A nade sent out, but the Melusi can very quickly back off as the nade isn't cooked even slightly. So Anarchy not too worried about the threat to his life there. Taco also now seeing that the attic hatch is opening up. He'll drop down. He's wasted 1:45, and, well, that's a pretty easy call sign to say, hey, I should drop. Anarchy will do the same, and 2 minutes wasted with really not that much gained by OUTLAST.
Well, Twist in the position here to try and make some difference. They are expecting his play. No, yeah, they are actually. Looks like there's a BP watching his very position, so he's not going to catch anybody off guard for the moment. Taco gets aggressive despite being on low HP. He do some damage to Twist, and Twist is going to walk in. He's got his way clear through, but oh, that little sliver made between the bottom chassis takes down Twist. And so far, it looks like OUTLAST trying to just brute force the measure, despite not opening any of these walls on site. So far, has not worked out well for them as the rest of the members are starting to push towards that pillar side.
Oh. He has a nice long angle holding over there. Maybe get Twist getting a bit quick as now OUTLAST slow down to try and push the defenders back, gain some more intel, but with 2 C4s and 2 more toxic canisters on the defense's roster, with 20 seconds left, getting a bomb down seems very unlikely, but the kills start to present itself. Nomad finds one, but there's Anarchy retaking inside a pillar, shoots Woos in the back, gets a second inside of E-Box. There's the third give his way. He runs out of ammo, switches to the pistol. Won't stop Anarchy, causing his name inside of E-Box. Gets the fourth as well. Beautiful play by the Melusi. Nothing else can be said about that. That's what won the round, without question.
Yeah, I saw them pushing on the site, and then I see Anarchy's little, silhouette in the background walking down Big Tower stairs. That was havoc to be done, and that's what happens when you don't clear that roam. Sure, you open up the hatches, you open some of the walls, but you actually clear it. You just push them back. You still have those open holes, and also by opening up those walls, you allow for someone like Anarchy to probably go through attic, jump through Big Tower, and flank you from all the way behind. So it's unfortunate that OUTLAST didn't really go for that play, try to clear the roam. They tried to go for a minimalistic take, but that allows for members like NCSU to come and bite you in the butt later on in the round if you don't have that kind of flank watch, you have that flank drones available to you. And even then, they made the way in the pillar, and sure, they were getting kills, but they had no other way of really pushing that round besides just pushing onto site.
Even then, the kills started to work, and very narrowly did, but there's Anarchy to save things and to give NCSU a continued fighting chance. If the first round was important to try and stop OUTLAST momentum, even though it seemed for a second they might still falter, this one is equally as important for NCSU. They've been successful in basements so far twice. They've been successful in dorms once. They still lost that one key round. Here they have to go to the tertiary side, the one that is the most likely and the easiest for the Oregon attacks to go for. Basement and dorms, they can be very hard, especially basement can be oh so constricting and force teams like OUTLAST to go for what they did, just to try to push into those doorways and get those kills and make up for lost time. Here, especially with a thermite on the board, OUTLAST could just be going for a meeting stage play, and all you have to do, open up that wall, which half of it's already been done by NCSU, open up that attic wall as well, cover it. You don't even need to hold it. Deny that vertical, have some angles held inside of the site, and you get a bomb down pretty easily. If that's what OUTLAST is going for, and NCSU aren't careful, this could be the game, despite NCSU looking much improved on their defenses.
Let's just see what NCSU would do in turn if that's the play, if they're going for that minimalistic take, but I can see so far they're droning up Big Tower, and there's nobody from NCSU playing, so they're going to take full control for OUTLAST's side. But half that wall is opened up, though, if they're going for that meeting take, though. So there is probably members from NCSU ready to take fight near that stage wall, near the stage moment. You see probably the Maestro of Anarchy is ready to take a fight with all to let the thing sing with 81 bullets. Also, Maestro came to ping them out, too. So there's definitely enough intel to see if they go for that play. Also, even now destroyed one of the podium, too. So there's more angle to try and deal with it if they go for that kind of play. But so far, first steps to me, of course, like Link was talking about, open up the attic wall, try to push back these players who may be playing it, or kill them. Probably be the best thing if they kill them, but you only push them out. But oh my god, they don't know. They haven't droned it just yet, so that's a good early pick for Taco.
It is a great early pick. Woos right now, he was the one watching their back, making sure that nobody got aggressive on that stage wall, or just to make sure that nobody flanked them from any sort of position. Twist moving down below. This is an important position to play. Having that hatch open, he can make sure, again, nobody gets aggressive on that stage. There's still some angles that aren't available to him. You can also see that hatch nicely, but you can see Anarchy right now. He doesn't even really need to get all that aggressive. And if he's taken down, they either have to take a fight with him on those stairs, or they have to take a fight with him sitting on that hatch. Slowly moving down, Twist could. Does he have any nades? He's got 2 nades left. He could send one on top, but instead, Anarchy is allowed to swing. And there's the man with the diffuser dropped onto the floor.
Well, they have control of Attic, so it looks like the members of OUTLAST trying to. One member is trying to push through. It's Nomad. He's making ways through, see if he can try and pick off Anarchy, but I believe Anarchy's already left at this point. You know, he's still playing the corner. I don't know if there's an angle far enough for him to see him, but no, there is not. So Nomad's gonna keep pushing through Attic towards kids. Maybe try and find pick and keep themselves rolling here, because otherwise, what else can they really do here with the man disadvantage? If they go for that plant and the rest of NCU starts springing and taking fights, well, it's not easy to take those wins. And even then, QQ wins that fight despite the slow peak he did. And now it's Twist dead, a flawless from NCSU. They're 1 round from overtime.
That's exactly what we needed to see right there. That is well, I mean, it literally, it's a flawless round. It couldn't have gone worse for NCSU. Obviously it could have, but at least in terms of the ending, that's exactly what you wanted. OUTLAST, you don't need much to make that execute work. You open that stage wall, you open up that attic wall, things are usually fine. But right there at the beginning, what you saw the kill on the Woos, there was a slight gap in the intel and what OUTLAST were going for. They opened up that wall, but with Woos just probably accidentally, not even thinking about it, giving himself up to the very angle that the attack created, Lucy's able to get an early kill and then immediately fall back, not trying to get aggressive because he knows there's the Jaeger still up there, but playing further back in dorms. So there's still somebody who can get aggressive if OUTLAST are lacking and forget. And if they want to clear him out, there's still an obstacle they need to deal with. Furthermore, because nobody wanted to push Attic for quite a long time, Anarchy's position isn't really able to be countered. Unless somebody tries to start sending nades up and they drone out his position, he can sit prone above that hatch for as long as he wants, again, playing that hole made in the soft wall, and he's able to get a kill there. For OUTLAST, it felt like they got those walls open, they got what they seemed to want, but then they just kind of sat there. And the first kill might not have been on purpose. Hell, it might have just been a position he didn't even think about. But then after that, they struggled to get any kind of momentum going and struggled to find any opening despite the ones they had physically made already.
It's hard. It's hard. I think the big thing is the fact that Anarchy is allowed to stay in that position for the entire round pretty much. They didn't throw any grenades. They didn't do anything to really push him off. And that stage position is huge because that's probably the biggest obstacle when it comes to getting that plant down. When trying to go straight, just go straight on the stage, get the plant down. Well, you can't do it if there's all the 81 bullets in your way. So unfortunately, OUTLAST just seemed to run out of ideas, run out of ways to just deal with Anarchy at that point. And they tried to make something else work. They tried to see Nomad upstairs, trying to make something work. You see them push Green Hall, trying to push different directions. And unfortunately, time and time again, they were stopped by NCSU. So we're on to the last round of regulation, the last chance for OUTLAST to try and win this out straight up 7-5. But maybe we're going to get 5-1 halves from both teams looking to just, show us that this is going to be quite the defense-sided Oregon. But we're back upstairs.
Well, I think NCSU can certainly make that 5-1 half happen, and I think overtime is probably, in all likelihood, going to happen. I mean, the most recent attempt at dorms, they won it pretty well at that. And even the first round that they lost, sure, it wasn't the best result towards the end, but if Anarchy gets 1 kill that he honestly should have gotten, he just
killed Twist. Kill Twist.
Yeah, if he just kills Twist and, hey, you miss some shots, it happens. Probably didn't expect the Twitch to just put his back to the Aruni like that. Probably got caught off guard. It happens. They still came very close to winning that. If that one gunfight goes their way, and they still won the second attempt. Based on how well the other 2 attempts have gone for NCSU just on other defensive sites, I think overtime is not guaranteed, but I would bet money on it.
I'd say, yeah, there was a 3v5 going to execute. They won that. So I think exactly the kind of strategy that seems like OUTLAST have been not able to deal with time and time again. These different angles, the different crossfires that NCU set up, and they've been walking into him despite having the man advantage in that last round. So we'll see this time if they're more wary of it and have a better head on their shoulders when it comes to dealing with it. Otherwise, we'll see how it goes, though. As OUTLAST, of course, they're going to go straight forward, just open up these walls as usual, as you see in Oregon. Open up the Gaines wall, open up the attic wall to start us off. Actually, no, they should open it. They haven't opened the attic wall ever. They really should do that.
Hey,
Like that's like the one point that we've seen. Taco last time was huge. Hey, Twist is here this time at least. He looks like he's gonna get a kill too. Actually, that's great.
And to be fair, that previous Dorm's attack started off with an opening pick by Twist on Anarchy, literally sending it out the big tower doorway, and still wasn't enough to win the round come the end, even with the 2-kill advantage they had over NCSU. So nothing is guaranteed in this final round, even with Twist, again, kind of being handed an opening duel based on his current position. He can also open up that attic wall, put some necessary pressure onto Rai, and that is the change we needed to fully see Rai not comfortable in that position, because it was that attic player, both in their first attempt at Dorms and the second round, that ended up being the two big players that almost won the round and then did win the round.
I 100% agree with that. If they can just have some pressure, push these players off so they can't play those angles, just because you had someone like Nomad go last time the white stairs, and that white stairs player was already getting shot from that same position, so we'll see how it goes out. Looks like they destroyed the shields though, just make sure they destroyed some utility from the side of NCSU. Grenade comes out from the window. I'm not sure if it's not got anything just yet, but looks like, yeah, OUTLAST just going through the motions, destroying utility, trying to create that execute, and the first pick, raid onto Anarchy. That's the player we were talking about before that had an issue. Rai's not going to get us to play the same angle in the corner like Taco was playing before. As he's going to see that drone, he's going to walk back the kids, and now that they're pushing them back, it looks much better for OUTLAST.
Is looking quite good now with all this pressure that OUTLAST have that was missing, and even the first Storm's attack that they ended up winning. Surely they can make it work here. Oh no! Rai caught off guard, sprinting right after he sent that toxic canister out. Predator tries to bring it back, but he falls under the pressure. QQ, the only one left, almost called him a different player by his name, isn't able to seal it out. OUTLAST, they get that second attack, they deny the 5-1 half, and they stop the comeback that seemed foretold for NCSU. They win a very close game.
Man, that worked a lot better when they just took out of control.
It did work a lot better. Also, for context, I almost called QQ Courageous Carl. Why?
What?
Because I glanced at my screen and I saw an aerial Rise West Garfield Park result come on the screen, and one of the players' names in game is Courageous Carl. That's my explanation.
You confused that. I was like, how'd you get Courageous Carl out of that? What? Read the Matrix and you get that name out of that?
No, my brain glanced over because I saw something pop up in my feed, and I was like, oh, and then I realized I almost said Courageous Carl.
I was about to say, like, damn, did you just like read his name and like just decipher the language? Because man, I don't know what that language is.
This is not Courageous Carl. This is QQ, and this is NCSU, as you can see, falling 7-5 to OUTLAST. Honestly, good showing for them, especially on those defenses, and a lot of problems for OUTLAST to take care of on their attack, but it could just be symptomatic of Oregon, maybe not being as comfortable on this map. Anything is possible, but either way, a win for both of these teams was necessary. Absolutely necessary going into the day. Neither team had been doing very well. Both, I believe, were 2-2, and NCSU was actually placed higher than OUTLAST, but again, with the same record. So going forward here, OUTLAST, of course, moving up 3-2, NCSU going down 2-3. That one win could very well be the difference between making it and not making it for both these teams based on the struggles they've had in this qualifier so far.
Yeah, these are the important matches that the people who are at the bottom of the tier, who are at the edge, the crisp of making that 16th place, or somewhere within that 16 people, 16 players, 16 teams. So yeah, great to see the OUTLAST have made out, and great to see the NCSU. They came back though. At least they gave us a fighting chance. They tried to bring it back. Hopefully we see them maybe bring it back in some other games later today, because there's still 3 more best of ones to decide who's our top 16 teams.
Yeah, and we're also not even done with streams right now. Usually what happens if this is your first time tuning in, we finish the game a little bit early if we're not literally the last game in the round. We tune into player streams to see games that are still going on. Right now, we have Braction's stream up. It is currently 6-6 in his game versus... Who is it versus, actually? I can't remember.
I don't know. I see Hitman.
It's a Silent Patience in their game. Okay. I was about to say.
So it's Bubble Blowers versus Silent Patience.
Believe so. You are correct, my friend.
Hey. Oh, so Braxian was playing Bubble Blowers. That was the thing that yesterday, because this is the first game we casted yesterday, and I think that's what Ferme said, is that I think his name is Trippy.Savage.
Trippy Savage or something like that?
Yeah, I have no clue who that is. I'm like, who's Trippy? And I think Ferme is like, I think that's Braxian. I'm like, I don't know.
I just remember I saw Hitman on a team. I was like, Hitman. I was excited to see him play.
I don't know if he's going crazy this game.
Hitman's always been crazy, and he just like vanished into the wilderness. I wanted to
Very true. That's what I said. Old head who just disappeared and he came back.
It's so weird saying Hitman is old though.
I've literally been casting him since like the ESL days.
I know, but like, it's so weird to say that.
He's been around for
He's
a while.
he's still not old to me though.
He's not, no, he's not old. I agree with that. He's not old per se.
Nah, shut up. As you can see, 6-6 right now. Also, if you're Panic, who was on Outlast, but was then I don't remember if he was dropped or if he just left. I honestly cannot remember.
I don't know.
But no longer on the team. He is actually in this game on Braction's team. So you can see panic.ol. That is not your eyes deceiving you. He's just not on the team anymore.
Oh, well, hey, they're in attack though, and usually I don't know if there's been. I wonder if there's been an attacker or defender side, or has been even maybe on the Villa.
I don't know, but I'm gonna be honest. If it's been an attacker side of Villa, both the teams probably doing a little trolling.
I'll
be honest.
but I think Villa's been like even these days. Really, could go either way. I feel like.
All right, well, it's a snow-sided game right now, so it doesn't matter. Hitman taken down. I think that was Panic, Felled as well. So unlucky, I suppose. Titans also going huge. Just Silent Pain. This is their round. Benny, I don't see how they can win this one. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see it. I don't see it happening.
It is a 2v4. I don't know if they don't have zero control of master bedroom. They're all pushing from one side. Yeah, I don't know what site this is. Is this trophy statuary?
Yes, it is trophy statuary. If it were kitchen dining and all three had died on the top floor, this round would be definitely lost. I would tell Bob to forfeit this round so we can move on. If it was a 2v4 and they hadn't even made it to the bottom floor.
I would ask, can we fast forward this?
Yeah, can we just like can we hit like the like the button appears on screen? It's like ×1, ×2, ×3, and it just keeps moving faster and faster. That's what I like. That's just fast forward. I don't know why I went.
At this point, yeah, they're just looking for something from the side of Silent Patience, but I don't think they're gonna find anything. Nobody's showing their heads.
Yeah,
nobody's trying to peek out.
I don't think they're gonna peek. I'll be honest with you, especially now that Evil Clown is dead. I don't see it happening. Do you see it happening?
Go off. You got this, Braxton. Come on.
Braxton, go and nuke. This is for the YouTube clip right here.
Go on, Braxton. You got this.
He's playing for the YouTube channel right now.
Oh yeah, he has a new one. I forgot about that. That's unfortunate.
Is what?
He lost his YouTube channel. He had to make a new one.
Oh, did he? I actually didn't know about that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah. So that's so well. Hey, that round goes.
I have to agree with the in-game comms assessment. That is very unfortunate. I would agree with that.
I forgot. I don't have sound on.
Yeah, I just heard we stopped talking. And I hear somebody go, "That's very unfortunate," and I would agree. They're on Villa defense now, though. And if this, I don't know if it's been attacker defender sided. Certainly not been a Braxton sided game based on that result. Man doesn't even have some of the operators trolling. What if the strat needs Oryx? Doesn't have it. Doesn't have it. It's in the Google Doc. I cannot believe you're showing up with Oryx not even purchased.
I wonder if there's actually a strat there that requires Oryx.
I highly doubt that there is.
I think there's one like Consulate, but Consulate's not in the pool anymore.
I still doubt it. It's just Oryx is one of those operators. It's like, if the strat never requires Oryx. It's like bring an operator, and then it's like insert requirement that Oryx happens that Oryx could fill.
Well, I think on Consulate it made sense because of all the hatches you can jump up for like flanks. That was like the only time it was necessary. Coastline you can kind of do that too, but Coastline is much more difficult because the hatches are in like very specific places.
Well, Coastline is just like bring an operator you can kill people with. If you'll be like,
True.
all right, Oryx, cool. I'll go with that one. Like, that's what I mean. Not the case here, because Braxton can't bring him.
Well, he's gonna bring another operator with a secondary shotgun.
Bringing Maestro. What important is that operator? Intel in sight, good gun. Oh, can't believe it. Shameful. By the way, for context, also talk about some of the other results that have, I suppose this one, who is not done yet. The other ones that have come in, Chess Club have won their game, so they continue their flawless streak in SCS so far. West Garfield Park and Aerial Arise, probably one of the big games in round number 5 that finished. West Garfield Park lost to Aerial Arise. For context, by the way, that is not the CL team. That was a team called Gopher, which is, I think, is what, Kento, Wimpy, CZ, Afer, and Og?
I don't think Afer.
No, not Afer. Valor.
Yeah, Valor. I think Og and Valor. Yeah, I think you're correct on that one. I think you got it right.
Dude, I want to be honest. Like half of the Aqualix players in my head, I'm like, okay, there's an Aqualix player or a former Aqualix player playing. Which one is it? I know it's not Sod. It's probably not Afer. And then usually I rattle off a couple more, and I'm like, it's probably Valor.
You're right. You got the one correct. As long as it's CZ, Kento, Valor, and Wimpy.
But yeah, it's not like the team with Gomez and Diaz Lucas. That's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, because they were called Gopher, and then they took on the name Arrow Rise. So that's interesting to a lot of us. But it's like, oh, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's kind of messing my brain right now. I'm not a big fan.
I'm not a fan of all the academy teams. That's what I'm. I'm
Dude,
just confused with the academy.
Benny and I were talking. I saw Wichita Wolves Academy on our top 16, and literally for like 3 minutes, I was like, "Aren't they already in?" I'm like, I'm so confused. I was like, "Oh, they have another one. I forgot about that." And then, and then I thought it was the JJ one for a second. I was like, "Nah, that team's in control. They're not even Wichita Wolves Academy.
They're not.
Different team." There was a game going on, by the way. Sorry, I'm being very.
Well, it's looking very defender side, and we only can see one POV, so it's hard to commentate, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, when we get to these, it's just like try to be, super. Well, playing inside a Memorial right now. Can you win it? Like, you just gotta go with the flow. Gotta go with the fact that boom, Fraction just smoked that guy. Maybe not smoked. He at least killed that guy.
No, hey, that's 2 players left. They gotta make a difference, and that's gonna jump his bicycle, get his head torn off, and what's Flipper in a 1v3?
Benny, it is Flipper though.
It's true.
And Flipper's name is great.
Flipper's crazy, so maybe Flipper is gonna flip them all.
Oh wait,
like House Flipper.
I'm watching trying to rotate from laundry.
Wait, did they actually lose this? Hold on.
I don't think so. It's 30 seconds. There's no way Flipper flips actually.
Fraction's on low HP though.
True. They're also kind of like
Yeah, JB's kind of alone right now. Okay, he's he's in memo. Never mind, they win this.
Yeah. The fact that you can move the Maestro cans if you're dead now is kind of interesting too.
Benny, I don't think this is gonna be the reason that Flipper loses this. Gonna be honest.
I don't think it's a reason per se, but they can just ping him over and over again.
Yeah, I know. Zap him. Yes. Look at that. Look at that beautiful pre-fire. Yeah, he ain't winning that.
Oh.
JB got the kill.
Oh. Well, hey, 7-7. I'm assuming it's been defense sided.
You know what they say about assuming? Don't do it.
I thought you were actually gonna say the same.
No, is that not what they say? Do they tell you to not assume? Is that not the point of the saying?
I don't know. I assume a lot of things on this broadcast. Isn't that our entire job just to speculate and assume things?
I asked CDAPs and Cookies, who casted yesterday, by the way. I asked him, like, hey, what are some storylines you guys talked about yesterday that I can pick up going into the day? And one of them, Connor said, Outlast not looking very good. And then CJ just sent a tweet a couple minutes ago of Outlast tweeting their victory, and he goes, Outlast blows out beating North Carolina State University. And he's Connor's now left the group chat. And then CJ took a screen grab of Connor liking the tweet of Outlast beating his own team and said, look at this. Breaking news, CDAPS likes his team losing. And then Connor left the group chat. Sad. Cannot believe that Connor is preying on his own college's downfall. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Not an actual supporter. It's all been a lie.
Honestly, bro, like we should
Oh my god.
These radical, disgruntled NCSU supporters fleeing their own team. Tragic.
See that?
Sad.
Throw it under the bus. He's a traitor. Oh my god. Well, who do you think's gonna win this now?
Well, Benny, we've only seen 2 rounds, and both of them were defense wins. So I'm pretty sure that means with 100% certainty that the defense will win this.
I expect a slight there too. They won trophy statuary, so did they go kitchen or did they go?
I'd imagine they went Aviator Games, but based on where everybody is positioned, based on where everybody's positioned, they could still be either site. I'm assuming they're Aviator Games though. Like, it's a pretty safe assumption.
It's interesting because the one defense round that they got, they played kitchen dining.
Listen, I need a drone memo for
Rack, baby. Thanks, Morocco. Appreciate it.
Well, it looks like it is AVG, so yeah, it looks like they have to push on through, and somebody's got to go to that study side sooner or later.
Yeah, but it's a minute in. They still got time.
Yeah,
They don't got to rotate over now. Brack might be the one to do it. He's on the line. I would say either Brack or the Hibana would be my guess.
It Hibana.
Well, Hibana also is the diffuser. Because normally I feel like I see the Hibana go over there. Though normally it don't
Yeah,
have a diffuser.
because you need to open up that single wall so
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
deny the rotate.
Why'd you make it sound
that's
like you
fine.
thought I was dumb?
No, the question was why does the bottom have the diffuser then?
I guess it's a minute 30, plenty of time to change hands.
Well, hey, Panic is the first pick on Titan though, who was roaming, I'm assuming.
Perhaps my flawless logic could be wrong.
They're gonna bring the diffuser to study.
Perhaps they could go for a study plant, which is
Could be.
part of the site. Planning on the desk.
Playing at the desk. Nobody understand.
It's part
But
of
hey,
the. Never mind.
what? Oh,
I was gonna make a joke, but then I thought about my head. I was like, that doesn't make sense.
it would be funny because it doesn't make sense.
No, I found if there's just kind of too much of a logical leap between the setup and the punchline, the joke usually isn't very funny because they don't really connect as well.
Oh, you
kinda
gotta
just
connect the
like
punch for it to
basic
work.
You know what else needs to connect?
Hmm?
The defense is bullets, which so far are not doing that for silent patients. Looking like what are they named? Bubble blowers?
Yeah, bolt blowers.
I think they're gonna win, Benny.
They could. Oh, it's 25 seconds though. They haven't destroyed a lot of utility. It seems like, and
Ooh,
they haven't
wait.
really
That actually
pushed
is a good
on the
point.
site. They still have to open up the single wall too to get that plant down. So it's gonna come down to really kills here. If they can kill one or two more people, one person, probably at most, or at least, they probably can win this round out. So well, hey, there's the one kill I needed. So at this point, I'm pretty sure they're gonna win this
Yeah,
round.
they got this. Ain't no way they don't. Ain't no way they don't have this, right? 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 Oh my, thank the Lord! Wow. How did they almost lose that, dude? Panic got a hip fire headshot that man with a pistol.
I was like, okay, they got this.
My Lord.
It was a 2v5. I'm like, all right, this should be easy, right? No.
Yeah, but that's fine. I could have stuck through that. It just
Oh my God! Look at the stats of the other team. Hold on, no, hold on.
I wanted to see that, but they got
Yeah,
rid of it already.
it was like 15, 14, 13, 12. I mean, it's an 8-7 game, but like, wow, that's a pretty even effort across the board for a silent patient. So there's the result of another one of our games. Of course, we do have a lot more results coming on in, as I don't believe the entire round has ended. I would be amazed if it did. But
15, 14, 12, 10 from the side of silent patient.
Yeah,
I was at 9.
I was close.
You were close.
You got the point. You got the point. But so yeah, we still have a. Let me check. Let me give you an accurate assessment.
Well,
Still waiting
it's
on.
5-minute delay, so it can't be accurate.
Ah, true. Good point. I forgot. All of the information I'm telling you will probably no longer be relevant. Well, at the time I'm saying this, there are only 3 games remaining right now, so imagine I'll be done quick. I'm pretty sure. Might be wrong. I think it might be time to maybe take a little bit of a break. Before we go, of course, before we do anything else, do want to thank another one of our sponsors, Mavix Gaming Chairs. Of course, the I guess I wouldn't call it a sale. Kind of like the savings you can always get. Pretty much the same throughout. Use code NSG55 at checkout. You save $55 on your order. And you can also get gaming chairs. Like anything, you could pay in installments for as low as $22.22 a month. I don't know if they planned that, but it is satisfying to see a price that is all the same number. That has nothing to do with the quality of their gaming chairs, and that just makes me, I just like the sight of that, because their quality is also completely separate. It is very good. Endorsed by the likes of Scump and Valkyrie. Looking very good. Thank you to Mavix Gaming Chairs for being another one of our great sponsors here at Nerd Street and SCS.
Oh, are you back in a little bit?
You just, you didn't say anything. You sat there just like,
I wasn't sure we're ending there or not, but either way, we'll be back in a little bit with our next round here as we're waiting for the last few games to finish up. So stick around. We'll be back in a little bit.